We've started a new game as England in EU4 using the extended timeline mod. Nothing has happened really significant yet. Both of our estates are disloyal after we decided to revoke some of their land, but at the same time we gave the burghers some land, though we didn't give the clergy any. We did take some away from the clergy. Monopoly company founded. Trade efficiency and gain Diplo points. Or get a bunch of money up front. Well, I'll take the trade efficiency and Diplo points, please. We're already making almost 13 ducats from trade every month. Poland has the Lithuanian brain lost track of thought. Poland got the personal union, that's the word I was looking for, over Lithuania. And our force limit actually went down by the looks of it. We were at 34 and we're at 33 now. It's great. I could seek the support of the clergy. Get some loyalty with them, even though that doesn't bring us up to 40. Doesn't quite bring us up to 40. If I made a generous donation, it would. So, let's seek the support of the clergy. Make a generous donation. I'm tempted to send an emissary to the Pope as well. Let's do that. And invest quick. I'm also wasting my diplomats who aren't doing anything. Improve relations with the Pope, get us more papal influence. Now, do I want to demand admin support? I kind of do, actually. And next I want to find the highest diplomatic, or highest development province that the clergy controls, which is Gascony, I think. And revoke it. Yeah. So now the clergy hates me again. They're actually lower than they were before, but I don't care. The Lollard heresy. Lollards were a heretical group following the theological teachings of John Wycliffe. Popular protests against the wealth, power, and pride of the clergy were frequent, and in times of disorder would express themselves in an extreme form. They had been persecuted several times during the 14th century, and their last appearance was in the early 15th century. Stop the heretics, tons of unrest all over the place, or let them be. Catholicism gains reform desire, tolerance of heretics goes up, yearly papal influence -1, everybody's opinion of me decreases. Increased tolerance of the true faith, papal states. Okay, we'll take it, even though that's going to increase a ton of unrest all over our country. Austria declared war on Hungary, already in a succession war. Speaking of Austria, I am going to send one of my other diplomats to improve with him. We've already made an alliance and broke it, which is fine. While the autonomy in Gascony is huge, Provence has been excommunicated. I was tempted to boost stability, but the clergy is disloyal, and I kind of want the War of the Roses event to fire just so it gets rid of our king without having a succession crisis. We're now 3 over. Hold on. Why did the stuff that I took away from the burghers and the clergy, has that always been like that? If you take something away from an estate, its autonomy goes up to 75%? I feel like I don't realize I don't think I've seen that before. Alright, it's kind of different again. Not sure if I've seen that happen before. Attempting to slacken recruitment standards, which will give us the subjugation, or it will get us very close to being able to subjugate Scotland, I think. France is allied to Provence, Papal State, and Navarra. Oh, they're at war with Aragon and Naples. Over what? Aragonese conquest of Navarra. Oh, okay. France allied with Navarra. We could see Navarra become a French vassal if France wins this war for them. With any luck, we can just hold on while France has their war down there, and maybe go to war with Scotland while they're dealing with Aragon and Naples. Of course, if I go to war with Scotland now, or regardless of whether France comes in, their army should be weakened, and they come into this war, we get the 100 Years' War mission done, and then try to go for strategic control, and we can possibly force the Union on France. Which would be crazy, but amazing. I think we get our first modern idea group, or Renaissance idea group, at level 50. So we need two admin techs before we get there. When is this looming disaster finishing up? Okay, so a few more months. End of this year should be about it. Yep, January of next year is when it's supposed to start. Lawlord Heretics will probably be firing sometime in there as well. Would have the following effects. Available mercenaries plus 12.5%. Goods produced modifier minus 10%. And King Henry is now a sinner, reducing tolerance of the true faith, which increases more unrest. That's one of the worst traits he could have gotten, I think. He's just an overall terrible shit ruler. Alright, so attempting to reduce autonomy in some of our territory that went up to 75 autonomy. That's English pet. You know what? English peasants. English peasants. French separatists. I mean, no matter what happened, we would be spending the first years of this game dealing with rebellions, especially the War of the Roses, which I do consider a rebellion because it does take the form of rebels. So in September, I'm going to stop drilling. I'm going to separate out about half of my army. And get ready for the War of the Roses. I think we actually lose stability when the event starts as well. I might be wrong. But we'll have to wait and see. I can only hope that we get a good ruler from the War of the Roses firing. Then again, we will get an option, I think, between siding with the House of York or Lancaster. But then once we do that, I don't think we get a choice as to who our ruler in the end is. It's just another one. Oh, and it looks like Aragon is absolutely losing. They're probably going to lose their there's the War of the Roses. They're probably going to lose their personal union over Naples. Probably. War of the Roses. Henry VI has suddenly died as the nation mourns two junior branches of the old House of Plantagenet, the House of Lancaster and the House of York, both claim to be the rightful heir to the throne of England. Sporadic fights between their supporters have already broken out in a number of provinces around the country. Their heraldic symbols, a red rose and a white rose, have already become synonymous with the conflict now commonly known as the War of the Roses. So we can choose between Charles Lancaster, who's a 622 with a strong claim. We lose manpower, and York gets House of York for 10 years, is what it looks like. And local unrest, 20 pretender regiments rise up in York. Or, okay, that's the House of Lancaster, rising up in York. That's... Wait, what? Support the House of Lancaster. And York gets... Okay, York gets supporting the House of York. And Lancashire gets supporting the House of Lancaster. If we support the House of York. Okay. And a 452. 622 or 452. It's a total of 10. That's a total of 11. We'll go with the 11 guy, I think. Yep. Fine by me. Now, how do we get out of this, this disaster? Spawn rebels are not pretenders. Stability at least 1. Alright. One of the following must be true. All have an heir or haven't a regency council. Or we can move away from being a monarchy. Anyway, we need to re-up our royal marriages. Let's recall the diplomat from Austria. What kind? That's Woods. Let's go up to York. Get ready for them to possibly move in. Alright, royal marriages. Start with Burgundy. Queen Consort. 436, not too bad. expulsion of merchants. Our merchants have been too successful in trade, and the owners of local trade node are upholding their mercantilist ideas and are now attempting to expel our merchants. Norway's opinion of England changes by -25. They stay. We get trade power, extra trade power. National decisions available. I can designate Calais as the staple port. Flanders' opinion of me decreases. Gain 10 mercantilism, lose admin points. Of course we're going to do that. That's amazing. Pass the De Heretico Comburendo Act. Yeah, we'll go with that. National tax modifier increase in missionary strength at the cost of the Catholic reform desire. For now, I'm going to not want to be reminded of any of the ruler policies. And we already did accept with Portugal, right? Yeah. Let's make sure that's still going. Now I want to see where these pretender rebels go. Support for York. Local support for York in the War of Roses keeps growing among the people as peasants and nobles alike rally to our banner. Bunch of places get local unrest reduction. Now, the one place I would prefer they not go without me being there is Cumbria, just because that is woods. Anything else is farmlands. I'm okay with attacking into farmlands. Let's go back to improving relations with Austria, who loves us again. Okay, they're going to Chester. And does Chester have any province, or does Chester not have a river crossing between any of its surrounding provinces? Gwynedd, Shrewsbury, Coventry, Lancashire, and York. So, Derby? That would be it. So we'll take this back. Nobles disgruntled. The nobles have so far stood by the crown during the War of the Roses, expecting to be generously rewarded. But there is a growing opinion among them that there has so far been little recognition of their loyalty. Lose money or Glamorgan, local support will be removed, and also gains unrest. What's Glamorgan's? That's not it. Glamorgan. Current unrest is -10. I don't want to lose 91 ducats, so we'll take the increased unrest. Take that back, go to Derby. I'll take Chester. And we'll march on them. 4th of June. These guys will arrive on the 4th of June. We'll wait a day. Now it's the 4th and the 5th. Support for York again. Local support for York in the War of the Roses keeps growing among the people as peasants and nobles alike rally to our banner. 3 provinces this time. It's a lot of damage. And they will flee. let's hope we get an heir relatively quickly. I should think about... Okay, Ulster is allied with Connaught and Brittany, and independence is guaranteed by Scotland. I'm going to try to get a vassal in them, I think. So recall the alliance, or the diplomat from Austria again. Going to Glamorgan this time. Royal marriage them first. And now we have some troops to reinforce, so we're going to lose some money. And on the 20th of August, we'll send an alliance offer to them. Just try to get our relations up to 190 before anything happens. Soldiers desert. War exhaustion in the form of plague and starvation is not only affecting the civilian population, but our armed forces as well, and the number of deserters keep growing. There's nothing we can do. Lose legitimacy and manpower. Import food from abroad. Lose tax modifier. Or lose we lose taxes. And lose unrest, or let them take from the local peasants. National unrest increases, monthly autonomy increases. How long does this last for? 1453, 5 years? You know what, let's deal with the unrest. Castile declared war on Granada. Still very disloyal estates. It's to be expected, though. And we are going to be out of manpower. Nobles disgruntled. Nobles disgruntled again. Alright, let's improve relations with Ulster. Come on, give me an heir. I'm tempted to go one over the Diplo limit in hopes that I get an heir faster. Rebel uprising, Lollard heretics. Where would they rise up at? Wessex or Hull or Northumberland or Sussex. It would be one of those three. Or maybe more than one of those three. I'm going to guess Wessex. See if that's a good guess or not. Aragon is losing their war with France. Where else is this likely to happen? Hull and Sussex. Let's go to Sussex as well. kind of curious about what's going on with France's armies. Apparently Aragon made some advance on France, and they lost a fort. France did, I mean. Aragon's lost a few forts, it looks like. Nope, just one. And there's a revolt. Let's get in there and help. Of course, costing us more manpower. Gascony, Essex, Kent, and Lancashire have all declaration for Lancaster pretenders. Alright, some unrest in various places. Ulster does have a claim on both Tyrconnell and Tyrone. Boundary dispute. England gains claim on Chartres. France gains diplomatic insult against us. Whatever. Gain conquest against France. Alright, can I get an heir, please? I mean, would Muscovy accept an alliance? No. Pope would, but that doesn't really help me get a royal marriage. Savoy would. I do plan on going to war with Brittany as well eventually. I am more than willing to go above my relationship limit to get an heir so we don't end up in a PU. Take our first level of admin tech. I'll do that. Watch, I do that, and now I'm going to suddenly have to or I'm suddenly going to get an heir and not going to be able to increase my stability. Let's also ally Savoy once we can. So now if we want to declare war on France, we might be able to promise territory to a bunch of people. Truce with Austria's ended. Improvements in trade tech. Gain inflation at the cost of, and gain diplo points at the cost of inflation. And go back to improving relations with allies. Apparently we were at war with Ulster at some point. Support for York. Pale gets local unrest reduction. I will be interested in seeing how this plays out for both Aragon and France. Looks like somebody's re-sieging that. If I declared war on Scotland right now, what would happen? France would have said no. Okay. Well, it's gonna tank my professionalism, but it satisfies this mission. So we now have subjugation against Scotland. France would say no, a bunch of their allies would say yes, but that's fine. Let's declare a subjugation on Scotland. What is Scotland's total war score value? 121. 50% reduction in cost means a 50% reduction in cost means it's a 61% war score cost, right? 60.5. Let's go ahead and do it. I'm also going to hire a crappy admiral. Let's go for it. Subjugation of Scotland. Munster, Sligo, and Brittany. Who are they allied with? Munster. So Sligo is just allied with Scotland. Munster is allied with Thomond. So it would be these three if I declared declared them all as co-belligerents. Brittany's in this too, but I will have to deal with them, won't I? Who's Brittany allied with? Ulster and Utrecht. I'm not going to declare them as co-belligerents. But we will have to fight them. Subjugation of Lothian. And we are at war with Scotland. And let's go ahead and move our ships up to the Irish Sea. We captured a light ship, that's cool. Scotland occupied Man. Wait, that's occupied by... No, that's occupied by the Isles. So, because it's occupied by the Isles, I don't think Scotland can freely... I guess they can, actually. No, they can. They can move their troops across the Irish Sea freely still, I think. How many cardinals do we have? 4? I'm okay with investing twice more into becoming the next pope. Speaking of the Pope, we did improve our relations fully. And I I will also send that other diplomat to improve with allies. And now we'll wait to siege this down. We could order a naval barrage, but I don't really want to spend military points right now. I shouldn't be keeping all of these troops here, even though if I move them, I might get attacked, which would be a defensive fight for us. Or no, it would be counted as defensive for Scotland. Anyway, so we're with Scotland now. With any luck, we'll have an heir soon. We are using one extra diplomatic relation to try to achieve that. Then we'll need to boost our stability, and we should be done with the War of the Roses.